girls to be able to think and prepare for the next 9 months and to be able to peak in the best possible way for London.
One of the Germans there, Nadine Jarosch. I think it's Kim Bui, actually, the second German in the lineup. There's Huang Qishang from China. Just 8 competitors. So as you said, the vault will be the first event. Get the intermediate results, of course, after the first event here. Quite a good crowd here. You notice a lot of youngsters in the crowd. It's a sport that is gaining in popularity, and we were talking about funding, and British gymnastics getting quite a lot of good funding at the moment as well. And the German crowd here, a lot of youngsters, surely budding gymnasts themselves, all looking forward to seeing some really good competition.
I think so. These events are very important for our younger gymnasts. It's very inspiring. I remember as a young lad myself going to World Championships in Rotterdam and in Stuttgart in this very arena 25 years ago and being inspired by some of the greats. And I'm sure there'll be lots of people looking on and seeing some great performances today.
So just a short warm-up period for the girls before the competition actually gets underway.
Yeah, the girls on vault have about 30 seconds of warming up each to prepare for their one vault for this competition. They can prepare it 2 times and then they go in order. One vault, the target is to land without any execution deductions, any faults between the 2 tram lines that you see on the apparatus there in front of you. The run-up's 25 metres long. Gymnasts have to generate an optimum amount of speed before hitting the springboard and then thrusting off of the vaulting table. Used to be the vaulting horse, but now changed to a square-shaped table, very, very elastic, very springy, and allows them to perform multiple somersaults, multiple twists, and execute a good landing.
We'll talk about each event individually, but what are the judges looking for particularly in this opening event of the vault?
Well, it's a dynamic piece of apparatus. The gymnasts have to show great elevation, great height, and their scores are given a difficulty rating. So they'll elect to perform a vault. It might be a somersault with 1 twist, 2 twists, occasionally 2.5 twists, forwards, backwards. There's plenty of options. They choose from a code of points, and the higher the difficulty, the greater the potential score. That difficulty rating is added to an execution mark, which comes from 10 points. Some viewers might remember the days of Olga Korbut, Nadia Comaneci scoring the perfect 10. That system's no longer with us now. The girls score 10 for execution, but then the difficulty rating for the elements that they perform is added to that to give the final result.
And we just see them there changing the springboards over, depending on the kind of vault we're going to see, I suppose, from the girls. The springs are obviously set differently in each occasion.
Well, that's right. The gymnasts are very individual and they need different springboards. There's 2 choices of springboards, soft and hard, and the distance between the vault and the springboard is very crucial as well. Some gymnasts elect to have the springboard very, very close, others a few centimetres further back so that they can optimise the flight on and the flight off. The coaches there having to be very precise to be able to put the mats, and you can see there the safety mats, the Yachenko mat that goes around the springboard in order to ensure there are no accidents with the gymnast coming on.
Just a few minutes from competition getting underway here in the Porsche Arena. The gymnasts going through their final preparations. £100,000 in French francs up for grabs across the weekend as well in prize money. So gymnastics, like a lot of other sports, is having a little bit of money pumped into it at a prize money level. And just noticing as well, the Stuttgart organisers have done some really good notable side events with a coaches symposium, open practice for kids, and autograph sessions with the gymnasts as well. So really trying to get that interaction going with the youngsters as well.
Well, that's one of the great things, Mark, about the Deutsche Turnerbund. They've got a very long tradition in gymnastics, the German Federation, going back for over 100 years, and they're very, very clever at organising these competitions. They arrange a whole raft of events around such an event like this, including autograph signings, appearances by some of the gymnasts, festivals, merchandise, lots and lots of things to keep the interest of the younger gymnasts and to inspire so many people to take up the sport. And it really is a wonderful sport to be involved with.
It is the 29th World Cup here in Stuttgart. Just a couple of weeks ago, most of these gymnasts were out in Tokyo for the World Championships. Be interesting to see, as we've already alluded to, how their performances will change here this weekend with that event just a couple of weeks ago. And of course, attention's already for most of these girls turning towards trying to qualify for their respective events at the Olympic Games to be held in London in July and August of 2012. Final preparations underway at the various venues in and around the capital, getting ready for what promises to be a really fantastic couple of weeks of competition across all the events in the Olympic Games. And just to remind you, we start with the vault, and there'll be just a short break before the uneven bars are moved into place, then the balance beam, and finally the floor exercises. Only 4 disciplines that the women will do today. And from a coaching perspective, how difficult is it to actually master 4 different events? A lot of athletes tend to concentrate on one particular discipline, but here they have to be proficient in 4.
Well, yeah, super difficult, the job of an all-round gymnast now. 6 apparatus for men, 4 apparatus for women, and a tremendous amount of training. Some of these girls are working over 24 hours per week in order to produce these 4 apparatus. Very difficult to maintain consistency across the 4 pieces.
Well, there you see the 8 competitors. First up to take on the vault will be Emily Little, the Australian. All the athletes getting a warm reception from the crowd as well. Emily Little will get the competition underway.
A wonderful vault from Emily Little, very solid, very good start for her. A difficult Yurchenko, a backward facing vault, backflip onto the horse, double twist off, and a solid landing. Yesterday she competed in a team competition, scoring 14.4, and that was a wonderful performance of a double twist Yurchenko. Slight hop on the landing, but she'll be happy with that.
Well, hails from Perth in Australia, Emily Little, just 17 years of age. Very proficient start from the youngster.
The Yurchenko with a double twist, one of the higher scoring difficulty vaults, 5.8 category, so she'll be pleased that she's got that one in the bag.
Yeah, just 1 vault each, so no margin for error in this competition.
Now you see a D score of 5.8, the E, the execution, deduction 8.56, and a total of 14.366. A good start.
So Emily Little getting us underway to one of our European competitors, Marlies Rijken from the Netherlands.
Now you see a Yurchenko, similar type of vault to Emily Little previously, but only with 1 twist that time. Yurchenko with a full twist, slightly less tariff, but again safely performed. Small step on the landing, but a good start for Marlies.
Didn't make the finals in Tokyo. She finished down in 70th place in qualifying.
There you see the round off onto the springboard, backflip onto the horse, and a full twisting backward somersault with a big step on the land. The vault discipline for women rather easier for gymnasts that are slightly taller. Quite difficult to get onto the horse, which is 1 meter 25 centimeters high, and then to be able to thrust off and gain enough height to perform a maximum number of twists.
13.37 scored for Marlies Rijken, which puts her into 2nd place behind Emily Little. That's the first 2 vaulters to go. Now it's Yulia Inshina, late replacement for the Russians.
Similar vault to Marlies again. Yurchenko with a full twist. Excellent form in the air, not perhaps quite as high as Marlies, but well executed, and again a good start. Yulia competed yesterday in the team competition in Stuttgart and scored 13.7 for that vault. Let's see how she does today.
Just a little bit of a hop on landing again, but proficient from the Russian. Looking forward to a good day of gymnastics. The crowd here in Stuttgart, all ages, as you can see, coming to see some of the top women. 13.166 for the Russian.
You see there the difficulty score 5.0 compared with our first gymnast, Emily Little, 5.8. So great bonus for doing 2 twists instead of 1. A big advantage for Emily.
20-year-old Lauren Mitchell from Perth in Australia next to go.
She goes, good attack. And a very safe full twisting Yurchenko. Oodles of height, small hop on the landing, but again, clean start. She scored 13.6 for that vault yesterday, and in Tokyo just a few weeks ago was on 14.6.
Finished ranked 13th at the World Championships, Lauren Mitchell.
Gymnasts have to maintain a straight position throughout the somersault. There you see Lauren just piking down slightly at the end to prepare for the landing. Made a very long journey from Australia to get here, so maybe a little bit of jet lag. Quite difficult to be able to perform in Europe when you're coming from across the other side of the world.
And not quite as good as her fellow countrywoman Emily Little, but good score all the same from Lauren Mitchell. Puts her into second place. Nadine Yarosh, one of the home gymnasts taking part.
Here goes Nadine, 25 metres of run-up. And again a Yurchenko vault, but this time with 1.5 twists. A forward-facing exit, slightly more difficult. A small step on the landing, but again clean.
Coached by Ula Koch. Nadine Yarosh.
Excellent extension in the air there. Very strong thrust from the horse, immediately twisting 1.5 times around to be able to stick the landing.
One of the youngest competitors at 16 years of age. To the oldest in the competition next up, 14.1 for Nadine Yarosh.
That's a good start for Nadine.
Puts her in between the 2 Australians, Emily Little and Lauren Mitchell. Another one of the Germans, Kim Bui.
Very powerful run from Kim Bui, attacking, and a different vault there. Handspring, front somersault in the pike position with a half turn. Local favourite, great support from the crowd. Good strike in that handspring phase. Beautiful extended body and a confident landing.
She's currently ranked joint 8th in the world. That's Ku Shan Kwang, actually, our next competitor, who 8th in the world. Kim Bui there replaced the joint 8th ranked Elizabeth Sietz, who's injured. So she another late addition to the German contingent.
13.933 in 3rd place. That's very good for Kim.
So our final, penultimate competitor in the vault.
Beautiful. Top draw difficulty, 5.8 start score. A Yurchenko with a double twist. Excellent form in the air. The smallest of hops on the landing, but a consummate start. Very clean lines from the Chinese gymnast.
Finished 7th overall in Tokyo at the recent World Championships, the 43rd Artistic World Championships. Huang Qishang, currently joint ranked 8th in the world.
Stands a good chance today, Mark. She's competed very well, 57.432 overall in Tokyo. That's an impressive score if she can maintain that here in Stuttgart today.
Emily Little leads the way after picking up a score of 14.37 and just slightly behind her. So that puts her into 2nd place. And here is our 8th competitor, Julia Steingruber.
Wow, very nice vault. Handspring on, 1.5 twist off. Very, very complicated and well executed. Julia following a fine tradition of Swiss vaulters. Former teammate Ariella Kesslin from Switzerland, an Olympic medalist on this apparatus. So the Swiss have some depth on this apparatus. Great example of good thrust in the handspring. Pike, extend, 1.5 twist and a small step on the landing.
Very good indeed, and the 8 girls who've all had their vaults now, setting a very good standard.
I think so. No falls, excellent high level, and I think it's going to be a very close competition today.
So that is the first of the 4 disciplines out of the weights. The uneven bars to come next.
I think one of the key factors today is going to be going around the 4-piece of apparatus without falling. It's very expensive falling in gymnastics. Over a marked deduction, possibly you could lose the skill as well, the value for the element. So if you can get through this competition on 4 apparatus without making an error, you stand a good chance.
Well, the final vault puts Julia Steingruber into the lead, 14.966, just overtaking Emily Little at the top after the first discipline.
Yes, Julia benefiting from that 6.3 start score, the most difficult vault that we saw today, and straight into first place.
Very attentive crowd looking on. As we said, they've got a team event to look forward to. Confirmation then of the positions after the vault. Julia Steingruber, the final one to go with 14.966. Emily Little was our first gymnast to go, setting the early pace. Qishang, also 14 plus, as was Nadine Girosch from Germany. Julia Inshina, 13.166, down in 8th place after the vault.
To play for now as they move across to the uneven bars, ready for their one-touch warm-up. 50 seconds allocated for each gymnast, so a few minutes of preparation before they go out and perform.
And there is the order that the girls will take on the uneven bars.
Very, very complex piece of apparatus, this one. Gymnasts have to show elements, great difficulty swinging between the high bar, the low bar. The 8 most difficult valued elements from the routine are counted and added together to give the D score, the difficulty score, and that is added to the gymnast's execution. The gymnasts have to show handstands, pirouettes, turns, very exciting release and catch elements, movements close to the bar, and good transitions between the high bar, the low bar, and again back to the high bar. The dismount has to be of D value if they're going to maximise their score. Complex dismounts, and getting through is the most important factor without falling.
We'll see again another discipline with a great deal of technical elements to it here. Chalking the hands, the very important part of the uneven bars. Nadine Jarosch there, the one of two Germans. Kim Bui there alongside her in the matching outfits.
You'll see there some of the girls wearing hand guards to protect their palms. Many repetitions of swinging around the wooden bar can cause great blisters, painful hands, and the guards are there just to protect the hands from blistering and to give a little bit of support when they're swinging around doing those complex elements.
The men's artistic gymnastics individual event to come tomorrow. We mentioned that there was no British interest in the women's, but if you're following the British gymnastic team, you might want to get behind Sam Hunter and Daniel Purvis tomorrow when they take part.
Yes, Daniel Purvis certainly with wonderful chances tomorrow. He performed so well at the Tokyo World Championships a few weeks ago, finishing 4th overall, and he'll be making his mark in this competition tomorrow, I'm sure.
German coaches just making sure that all is ready for their athletes to just complete their warm-up.
You see an example of one of the complicated release and catch elements, the Jaeger somersault, front somersault, losing sight of the bar, catching it, very small margin for error. Kim Bui, a seasoned performer for the German team. German girls enjoying a real golden period in their gymnastics at the moment. They qualified a team by right in Tokyo just a few weeks ago, finishing in the top 8 and being able to go to the Olympic Games next year. Wang Guishang just preparing the bars, ready for her warm-up. Adjusting the springboard, a little bit of water, a little bit of liquid on the bars to add to the magnesium carbonate and assist with a grip.
Event going out live on German television. Plenty of exposure for the gymnasts here. Plenty of live streaming going on as well. If you're enjoying us now, that's where you'll be keeping up to date, of course, with all the events here in Stuttgart. Just looking again, I suppose, at British gymnastics, do you sense that it's getting more popular? Obviously, we talked about financing earlier, but are more younger people trying to get into gymnastics? Have you noticed an upturn?
Oh, well, I'm sure the club that I work at in Huntingdon has seen a great surge in its waiting list. There's a tremendous upsurge of interest since Lewis Smith, for example, won his medal in the Olympic Games. Beth Tweddle, world champion, 3 times world champion, has created a massive upsurge in interest. So there's children up and down the country that are very keen to join clubs and follow these wonderful performers.
And of course the next event will be the Birmingham Trampoline World Championships as well, which also forms part of the gymnastics. That's taking place next week. So if you're interested in that and you're a young person looking on now, if you want to get yourself to Birmingham next week, you'll see some great trampolining taking place over the weekend there.
Got to be a fantastic event, that one. The mind-blowing height and difficulty jumping on the trampoline up to 5 or 6 meters above the height of the floor. 2 seconds for every bounce and multiple somersaults and twists. Amazing to watch.
Gymnasts here just going through their final preparations before the second discipline gets underway with points at stake. It will be Marlies Rijken from the Netherlands to go first.
You see the judges at the side there just preparing to judge the routine. Normally up to 6 judges watching each of the gymnasts. 2 of them are taking care of the difficulty, looking at each element, adding up the value of those elements, and then 4 judges looking at execution, taking deductions if the gymnasts don't achieve a handstand, for example, show poor leg form, execution form, and landing deductions as well. Those scores added together to give the final score.
Terribly difficult job for a judge as well, because everything happens so quickly, doesn't it? And there's so little margin for error from these athletes. One tiny slip can actually mark you down quite a few points.
Well, it's amazingly difficult, and sometimes the gymnasts change their elements mid-routine. If they finish the wrong side of a handstand or perform an extra pirouette, they might have to make some adjustments. So you can never really tell exactly what they're going to do until the actual performance. The gymnasts have to have their own language, the judges have their own language, their own symbols that they'll write down to record the routine, and then with the pressure of media they have to add those skills together very, very quickly to come up with a score. No easy task, believe me. Final adjustments to the apparatus before Marlies Rieken takes to the bars.
Once again, the springboard of the landing mat precisionally placed for the athletes. Marlies Rieken down in 7th place after the opening vault. And here she goes, our first competitor, onto the uneven bars.
Very nice swing so far, showing full twisting giants, Stalders, giants in undergrasp, both forwards and backwards. Here comes the big release. Fantastic forward Jaeger, pike position, working very well so far. Compulsory transition to the low bar, shoot with half turn, back up to the high bar, building up now for a strong dismount. Let's see if she can get through. The Stalder element with half turn to the eagle grip, and double forward dismount. More stumble on the landing, but very, very solid performance. Well done.
A good start, set in the early pace. Marlies Rieken from the Netherlands. She actually scored 12.933 in Tokyo on the uneven bar. Interesting to see how she scores here in Stuttgart.
Some nice elements in this routine. The judges will be looking though at handstand positions. Very important that when the gymnast pushes to handstand and makes a pirouette, they start and finish in that handstand position. There's big deductions if you're slightly away from that handstand position above the bar. There you see the Jaeger somersault, upstart, caster handstand, and the in-bar element, the compulsory element, Stalder circle, and the dismount. Double forward somersault, a blind landing, small step, but a good performance. She looks happy with that.
Let's see if the judges were happy with that as well. Score to come momentarily. Meanwhile, it will be Yulia Inshina next up.
13.2 is an improvement on her Tokyo performance, 5.4 from the D jury and 7.8 for me.
So Yulia Inshina next, the Russian.
Nice in-bar Stalder with half-turn. Jaeger again, very popular release and catch amongst these girls. Fast worker, small in stature, whizzing through this routine. Stalder circle with full turn. Pack somersault. Toe on, half-turn, immediate Stalder. Transition to the high bar, and then a preparation for the dismount. Again electing for the double forward somersault. Very well executed.
She's 16 years of age. Julia Inchina. Again, 13.9 she scored in Tokyo on the uneven bar. Got ranked down in 158th place, so didn't make it through qualifying.
Julia, a very young gymnast at 16, has quite a few years in front of her, and I think will be using this competition for great experience to be able to develop her confidence of performing at this level. Her skill level is very, very high. She needs to work on her execution now to be able to perfect these skills. A great future in front of her, I think.
Of course, you mentioned a few names that I'm sure a lot of people remember. Nadia Comaneci amongst them. The Eastern Europeans have excelled in gymnasts over the years, and always starting very, very young.
Well, that's right. The rules have changed slightly, and now the minimum age for this competition is 16. But in our sport, in gymnastics, especially for girls, the younger you start, the more beneficial it can be. Some of the girls will come along at 3 and 4 years old to join a toddler's class in any gymnastics club, have fun and play, and then at around 7 and 8 years old to take a more formal approach to start to become more competitive before 12, 13, 14 years old, to up the hours and up the repetitions to be able to produce a routine of this standard. Judges deliberating. Often very, very difficult to work out all those turns, especially when the gymnast is small and spinning so fast as Julia did. Just calculating all of the elements to make sure that they get that start score exactly correct.
Judges still collating their scores. 13.333 for Julia Inchina.
Just goes in front of Rijken of the Netherlands.
So Lauren Mitchell, one of the favourites maybe to take top spot here today onto the uneven bars.
Stolen with half turn, Stradljäger this time. Toe on, full turn, immediately connected with shoot half turn to handstand. Back to the high bar, running out the swing. Now she has to work to bring back the rhythm. Half turn. And double forward somersault dismount. A good job to finish that. Quite a fight through that routine. Ran out of steam a little bit in the middle, but recovered well.
Lauren Mitchell in the glitzy turquoise and white costume.
Difficult piece for Lauren. Scored 13.133 in the team event yesterday. Let's see if she can do better than that. You see the toe on with a half turn, changing to undergrasp, rotating forwards, and a very difficult double forward somersault for the landing.
So just one go on each piece of equipment for the competitors here. As we say, no margin for error.
Lauren Mitchell, a former world champion on the floor, doing well again on the uneven bars. 13.333, first place.
Good performance from Lauren Mitchell. Had a good natural swing in there from the Australian. Here is Nadine Jarosch, one of the two German competitors.
Looks very relaxed. Beautiful lines. Comes the big element. Jaeger again safely caught. All going well so far. Coach just standing in to ensure safety. Now let's keep it steady for the dismount. Giant circle again, and backward somersault, double somersault with full twist. Very, very safe. Should be pleased.
Very, very high dismount there as well, and very good landing from Jarosz, who takes the congratulations of her coach. Lauren Mitchell and Julia Inshina, both with 13.333 at the top at the moment. And that could well be threatened by that performance from Nadine Jarosz. Very competent indeed.
Yeah, it's never easy to perform in front of your home crowd. But Nadine coped with it very, very well. Showed beautiful form in this Jaeger somersault, catching at full extension with straight arms. And showing good continuation, no pausing. A very good line, very good swing. Here the Sukahara dismount, double backward somersault with a full twist in the tuck position. Comfortably landed. Nice job.
Do the judges agree? I wonder. They do indeed. 13.7 puts her in the lead.
Very good. Very good lines, impressing the judges. The E-score of 8.4 was the highest E-score so far in the uneven bars competition. German girls eager to impress their coaches and selectors now. There are 5 places available for London next year, and there may be more gymnasts than that in the team that will be fighting for those places. Every performance today and in the future will be important for selection. Local girl Kim Dewey about to go. Oh, nice work. Very difficult element. Corkina from a toe on. Upstart, immediately stoop on with full turn. A Ginga salto, this is good work. Hopping to undergrasp, showing the compulsory forward giant into a Jaeger. First girl to perform 2 release and catches in a routine so far today. Moving to the low bar. Again up to the high bar, this is good work. Shoot half to handstand. Hop to catch the high bar. Working well, just the dismount. Super performance from Kim Dewey.
Well appreciated by the home crowd as well. You could see the encouragement and hear the encouragement coming from the sidelines. A coach standing right next to the bars there, keeping an eye on every move, but very, very competent from Kim Dewey.
And she'll benefit from a very high D difficulty score. 2 release and catches, that very innovative element that you saw there. Toe on, shoot to catch the top bar with a half turn, Corkina type element. Good line in that Ginga somersault. Very good swing. Great transitions from backward to forward giant. Jaeger, the second of the release and catch elements. And a solid dismount, double somersault with a full twist. Excellent work.
I think we could be about to see a new leader. Just waiting for confirmation of the judges' scores. Very good score. 14.033 puts Kim Dewey in front.
Very popular performance from the local crowd. She can hold it together. It could be a very good job today.
The crowd are enjoying themselves, very colourful with the flags that they've been given out, and the, I'm not quite sure what you call those plastic tubes that you bang together to make an awful lot of noise, but certainly these girls are competing in a very good atmosphere here in Stuttgart at the Porsche Arena. Kuisheng Huang up next.
Chinese gymnasts have a great tradition on this piece of apparatus. They're the acknowledged masters of this event with great lines, great difficulty. Huang went to Tokyo a few weeks ago and scored 14.966 on this apparatus. So tremendous potential to go into the lead here.
14.033 is the score to catch in the uneven bars at the moment. Germans 1 and 2 in this discipline so far.
Beautiful shoulder extension in that endo somersault. Wonderful flare, swinging round on one arm, pirouette on one arm, Healy type action, through to endo with again full pirouette. Complex work into that Jaeger. She'll benefit from great combination connection bonus. Moving again up to the high bar. Keep the swing going. Giant with 1.5 turns, preparing for the dismount. A double straight somersault and a stuck landing.
You saw the reaction of her coach there. Fist pumping, knows that was a very, very good performance yet again. And the standard here, well, we said 1 or 2 of the top ranked athletes aren't competing. Great standard.
This routine's always a trade-off between difficulty and execution. The more difficulty you put into the routine, the harder it is to maintain a good high level of execution. Huang showing here that she can manage this level of difficulty with great form all the way through. Beautiful flare, swinging round on one arm. Healy into immediate Jaeger. Full extension to catch. Wonderful work. Double straight dismount. Beautiful extension. There's the landing.
Well, the last 3 gymnasts have all achieved the highest score so far. Can Wang Qishang complete that little run? Judges there collating their scores. 15.2.
That's a great score. Look at that D difficulty, 6.7. Top draw difficulty and a deserved 15.2 for first place.
Julia Steingruber from Switzerland up next.
Working well, quite a tall gymnast, difficult to make those transitions between the bars. Again, Corkina element, beautifully done. Backward giant with full pirouette, immediately connected with Ginga Salto. Excellent level of difficulty. Compulsory forward giant, double somersault dismount. A great performance, great improvement in Julia's work, and a good performance following on from her first place on the vault.
Once again, another exceptional performance, Julia Steingruber.
Very composed, very solid. Not her strongest of apparatus, but an excellent performance. Sharp to catch the high bar, straight back to the low bar. And a solid double somersault dismount. Coach is happy with that.
Very good performance. Once again, will the judges be suitably impressed to award a good score for Julia Steingruber? "17 years of age, from St. Gallen in Switzerland. Been a member of the national team just over 12 months now. Julia Steingruber.
and a great future in front of her. I think 17 years old, a few more years, and a good opportunity for London next year.
Judges, you can see there in the background still working out the scores.
4 execution judges have to maintain their consistency and appear with their results similar to their other judges, their colleagues. Everything has to be checked and ratified. 12.966.
She looks a little disappointed with that, Julia Steingruber. Puts her down in 7th place with 1 to go. Emily Little, our final gymnast to go on the uneven bars, started us off on the vault.
Second of the Australian gymnasts. Toe on and off. Toe on and off with half turn. Jaeger somersault. Moving nicely to the low bar. Back up to the high bar. A little late on that full twisting giant. Now preparing for the dismount. Safely through. Not the most difficult of routines, but a very safe performance.
13.566 in Tokyo just a couple of weeks ago. Emily Little at the World Championship ranked 24th in that competition.
Always nice to see 8 gymnasts in an apparatus final go through without making a fall or a major mistake. This shows the level that these gymnasts have been prepared to. So far, error-free competition from everybody. Shoot with a half turn, catching in a perfect handstand before moving immediately up to the high bar. Keeping the swing going, always very difficult moving, making that transition. Pirouetting, swinging, gathering speed in order to perform 2 somersaults in the straight position.
So our final competitor on the uneven bars, Emily Little from Australia. And Kui Shang Hang leads the way, 15.2. Emily Little, 13.166, puts her down in 7th spot.
Halfway through the competition, still all to play for.
Well, next we move on to the beam, but just while they're doing that, let's just look at the current world ranking list at the moment, and a lot of names on that list not here. We know about the recent World Championships, and we talk about Great Britain, who have a 4th-ranked athlete, joint 4th at the moment, but Kui Shang Hang, the highest-ranked athlete taking part here, she's currently joint 8th in the World Championships.
Yes, this competition, the selection for this competition is gathered from the Rotterdam World Championships in 2010. The top 8 performers there received an invitation, and the world ranking list is formed by people that are invited to the 4 World Cup events in Jacksonville in Florida, happened in March, then moving on to Glasgow before coming to Stuttgart and culminating in Japan in 2 weeks' time. These gymnasts all working 4 pieces of apparatus rather than being a specialist of 1 piece of apparatus, and accruing points in this tournament to be able to win the prize money at the end of the event.
There's the standings after our 2 events. Kui Shang Hang from China leading the way at the moment. And there the start list, or the order rather, for the beam. Yulia Inshina from Russia will go first. Current leader there, Kui Shang down in 5th to go.
I think competitions have been won and lost on this piece of apparatus, a very unforgiving piece of apparatus. The most important job being able to complete your routine without falling off, and that's no easy task. Very narrow beam, very complex difficulty required. 8 elements, 3 of them gymnastic series, 5 of them tumbling and acrobatic series, combined with a D element dismount, all performed in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Judges looking for choreography, great style, great grace, full extension on leaps, 180 degrees of leg separation, finishing off pirouettes, showing good balletic performances combined with tumbling and acrobatic difficulty.
So just to remind you of our overall standings after 2 events, Huang from China, 29.533. Kim Bui from Germany, just a few points behind, 27.966. Steingruber from Switzerland, Jarosz from Germany, Little from Australia, Mitchell from Australia, Reichen from the Netherlands, and Inchina from Russia with 26.499.
Local girl Kim Bui working very, very well at the moment. She stands a good chance. Just getting over. A lot of gymnasts come to this piece and are very relieved when they get through it. 30 seconds of warm-up each. Very rigorously checked by the judges. They'll stand with a timer to ensure that every gymnast gets a fair warm-up.
Looking at the 4 disciplines, I suppose you identify the uneven bars and the beam as being the most difficult. In your personal opinion, is the beam the most difficult for these girls?
I think from a psychology point of view, it's the most difficult. It might not be technically the most difficult piece of apparatus, but I can assure you, standing on a beam that's just a few centimetres wide and a metre off the ground and performing backflips and somersaults with twists is no mean feat. There's a tremendous fear factor involved. The gymnasts have to develop a great degree of confidence and composure to be able to carry out these complex elements on such a narrow piece of apparatus.
They're just 10 centimetres wide, 5 metres long. The beam, 1.25 metres above the floor.
And we've seen the level of difficulty rise exponentially since the days of Nadia Comaneci and Olga Korbut, with gymnasts performing somersaults with twists and connections of those elements from backflips forwards, backflips backwards, and connections with jumps and leaps and spins. Amazing work.
Well, I'm just reading the competition description of the beam. The gymnast must use the entire length of the apparatus whilst expressing simultaneously elegance, flexibility, confidence and self-control.
That's it in a nutshell. Easy to write down, but very difficult to execute. You often see slight wobbles at the end of these elements, and that's what the judges will be looking for to deduct when you finish a pirouette, when you finish a leap. You have to show a perfect landing, very, very confident. The gymnast will spend many hours every day walking up and down the beam, performing numerous repetitions of their elements and their combinations in order to perfect it. But you can never quite tell, you know, when you go to a major competition under a stressful environment, how it's actually going to work.
Well, the girls just going through their final warm-ups, of course. Artistic gymnastics, one of the oldest Olympic sports. A lot of talk about some new sports that are going to be added to Olympic Games over the next few years. Golf, of course, coming in for Brazil. Also, team triathlon possibly coming in as well. But gymnastics survives right back to the ancient Greek times. It's actually been contested at every Olympic Games since 1896. So,
wow,
sign of how gymnastics has really stood the test of time, I suppose, over the years.
Yes, has a great tradition in the Olympic sports. And Great Britain enjoying an Olympic bronze medal, of course, from Lewis Smith in 2008. A historic performance, the first medal in over 80 years for Great Britain in artistic gymnastics.
Yelena Inchina is the first to go from Russia.
Good start, lifter, handstand. Great extension and a confident approach. First of the connections, safely executed. Lovely leap. Head looking up at the ceiling, losing sight of the beam. well so far. Confidence beyond her 16 years. Great combination of two leaps. Side somersault. Compulsory pirouette with the leg held at 90 degrees. Immensely difficult. Free cartwheel. Just a small adjustment there. Maintaining composure well. Now preparing for the dismount. There it is, double pike somersault, a safe performance. She should be happy with that.
A very good performance. You notice a couple of times just slightly off balance, but the recovery, excellent getting her balance back. And I suppose the main thing is if you do make a slight error, not to let it phase you for the rest of your performance.
Very psychological piece this. Always impresses me how these girls can deal with these stressful situations, to be able to perform an element, and as you say, Mark, to make an adjustment, to be able to continue and finish with that style. Shows great professionalism and plenty of hours in the gym perfecting these skills. Never easy.
Setting the early standard on the beam. Yulia Inchina from Russia as the dismount. Very tidy.
It's good work and a good combination between acrobatic difficulty and good choreography, good style, good balletic grace. It's nice to see her smile.
There's a few nervous moments for these youngsters when the cameras are pointing directly at them, waiting for the judges' scores.
Judges sometimes having to make a decision on some of the jumps and leaps to ensure that the amplitude, the required amplitude was achieved. 180 degrees often of leg separation in the splits to make sure that the leg stays above 90 degrees in spins. Maybe there's a little bit of discussion about whether or not some of the elements count.
Lauren Mitchell is our next gymnast who's preparing here. Had a very good performance on the beam in Tokyo. 14.033 she scored on her way to a 13th place finish in the World Championships. 14.2, very good start for the Russian.
Yes, that's quite respectable. 5.9 on the D score, plenty of difficulty. And most importantly, without form. There goes Lauren, former world champion on the floor. Made the floor final in Tokyo. Still pretty handy on the beam as well. Interesting dismount. First tumble series coming up. Oh, just slightly off with the shoulders. Two backflips into a straight somersault, but offline, very difficult to adjust. Back into a stride now with two jumps. Very nice trademark skill. 2.5 turns with the leg bent at 90 degrees. Extremely difficult work. Free walkover. Nice jumping. Immediate front somersault. Recovered well from that early mistake. Comes the dismount. Two flicks and a double pike somersault. Just round to her feet, but that'll be a costly error at the beginning of her routine on that complex series of somersaults.
Just took a tumble off the bar, and that's how easy it is just to be thrown out of your stride.
Wonderful element here. Spinning round 2.5 times, and again with a full turn at the end of it. Very unique, very well performed. There's the mistake, backflip to 1, backflip to 2, straight back, shoulders just out of line, and off. Has to remount within 10 seconds and continue. Never easy, but Lauren coped well. Pulling in for that dismount.
See how the judges scored that with that error at the start. Some very good elements in there, that aside.
That's the chances you take when you up the risk and up the difficulty. There's always that danger you're going to be falling off. Do you play safe or do you take a chance? These girls have to take chances.
Nadine Jarosz next to go. Still the judges deliberating on Lauren Mitchell's score.
Always quite difficult this time for the gymnasts. You can never be quite sure how quickly the judge is going to be with their deliberations. Sometimes the score comes out very, very quickly and the next gymnast has to be ready and prepared to go on. At other times they might take 2 or 3 minutes to come up with a score, and all the time the next gymnast has to maintain a composure before competing.
Reminder, Yulia Inchina, 14.2, the opening competitor to go on the beam.
Lauren's going to be down at least 1 mark for that fall on her straight somersault. It'll show up in the score, and she'll have to work very, very hard on floor, her best piece, the final apparatus, in order to get back into the rankings.
Still the waiting goes on, not only for Lauren Mitchell but also for Nadine Jarosz, who's preparing to mount the beam for her routine. A little bit of nervy time always before you hit to go.
Yes, never easy. Pressure on the coaches, the gymnasts and the judges to come up with that score in such a short amount of time. Very difficult for their deliberations to add together all the difficulty, to agree all the elements were there, all the special requirements, the element groups were safely in place, and to make the calculations. Complex sport to judge.
Still the deliberations going on. Obviously want to make sure they get exactly the right score.
Here it is. .266. Lauren benefiting from a very high D score, 6.2, which will help to mask the fall at the beginning of the routine.
Nadine Jarosz, first of the 2 Germans who follow each other right through this tournament. Kim Buey up next.
Very stylish girl, Nadine. Did well to stay on there. Is to settle down now. Backflip into layout somersault. That's much better work. And leap with half turn. Safely executed. Good line. Beautiful jump, great extension. That's nice, a little bit of a shaky start, but now she's got her composure, seems to be okay. Full spin, compulsory element. side somersault. Much better work now. Elements close to the beam necessary to be performed. That's it. Another slight adjustment, but she's safe so far. Just the dismount. Can she do it? Oh, what a shame. 2.5 twisting backward somersault and a sit down at the end. Unfortunate.
Very good performance. The home crowd right behind her. But the two German girls will feel that little bit of extra pressure performing in front of a home audience.
Yes, little error at the beginning, but she recovered so well. It was all looking good, and then the dismount just fell apart a little bit. Here's the first little mistake. Front somersault, complex element, very close to falling off. Did exceptionally well to stay on. Sideways somersault. Here she is, building into the round-off element. Backward somersault takeoff. 2.5 twists, just not quite enough somersault. Had to put a hand down. All about staying clean for these 4 apparatus for these girls. No easy task.
Just 16 years of age, Nadine Jerosch. Very creditable finish in Tokyo in 16th place for one so young. Another German with a very good future ahead of her.
Yes, I think so. Years to come. These girls will be working towards Rio de Janeiro, of course, not just to London next year, 2016. They'll be on a 4-year plan, developing their elements, and all of these competitions for these young girls will be good experience.
11.933 leaves her down in 3rd spot after the 3 to go. The couple of little errors in that routine just getting her score marked down. There's Kim Bui, the second of the Germans.
Currently in 2nd place with good chances. This is going to be an important moment for her. If she can perform a safe beam routine, she'll be right up there, I think. Very difficult start. Round off back somersault onto the beam. Managed to hold it together just. Compulsory leaps and jumps. Well executed. First of the tumbles. Flip and straight somersault with a slight adjustment, but safe. Very interesting move. Side somersault forwards. Far showing a good combination of acrobatic difficulty and good choreography, jumps and leaps. After a major wobble at the beginning, just the dismount to go. Round off, double pike somersault, safety through. There'll be some relief there, I think.
And another little shaky start for Kim Bui, who stumbled right at the beginning of that routine, but she recovered well. Here's the man to the beam. Almost lost it completely, but recovered well.
Shoulders slightly out of line and tremendous adjustment of the arms to maintain the centre of mass above the balance beam. Always a great relief to get beam out of the way. Just the floor remaining now. Guys can settle down and enjoy the performance. Double pike somersault, slight leg separation, safely found her feet.
To take a seat in front of the cameras while we await the judges to do their work. Halfway through the beam, 4 more to come. Huang Qi Shang.
Should take a bit of a deduction at the beginning of that routine, but quite a lot of difficulty in there. I think her D-score will be reasonably high, and she's still in with a chance. Always a difficult moment waiting for that score, especially when you're in a major competition fighting for a medal. You never know quite how those judges are going to favour your routine.
How difficult is it for competitors to be able to shut out the crowd and shut out their surroundings, especially if you're one of the home girls where you know you're going to have a lot of support and there's often shouting during the routine? It must be very, very difficult to just keep that concentration.
Yeah, they're very well prepared generally, very disciplined, very focused, and they have a way of just tuning out. When they start their routine, many gymnasts will say they don't hear the crowd until they're actually landing.
12.866 puts her in third place.
Still up there, still with a chance. Now needs a great floor.
Huang Qishang is next. Current overall leader after the opening two events.
Again, China with a great tradition on this piece of apparatus. Scored 13.633 in Tokyo, but with plenty of potential to do more. Lovely high front somersault. Not a wobble. So businesslike with the performance. She could be walking on the floor. Free walkover. Backflip and pipe back somersault. Unusual and again perfectly executed. Good extension in the leaps. This is impressive stuff. Wonderful jump. Huang going very well at the moment. Half turn into forward walkover. Leap series. Beautiful extension. Full spin, compulsory element, and the dismount. This could be a great routine. Round off double pike somersault, safely landed. That was a beautiful performance from Huang Qishang.
And I think Yulia Enchina's 14.2 seriously threatened by the Chinese gymnast. 8th place on the balance beam in Tokyo.
Very good work. Always impresses me how confident these Chinese girls are on this piece of apparatus. It really doesn't seem like a narrow piece of wood to these girls. They're walking up and down. It could be a 3-lane motorway.
And hardly a wobble when she hit the beam.
Result of many, many hours of training and preparation in the gym. Beautiful height, beautiful technique, lovely style in the legs. Great work.
14.2, don't forget then the best scores so far.
With 3 apparatus gone, she stands a great chance of winning this competition with a safe floor performance. Judges deliberating. Discussion about whether elements should be counted, whether elements were included.
And the judges still conferring on the sidelines. Still to come. Julia Steingruber up next, Emily Little and Marlies Rijken, the 3 remaining gymnasts to go on the beam.
A lot of the judges, former gymnasts themselves, had a long history, a lot of experience in this sport. They will know in great detail the rules of the game, and they'll be checking very carefully to make sure all those boxes are ticked, all the elements and the group requirements are there.
Wang Liming, the coach you saw a moment or so ago, 14.533 puts Wang Qishang in the lead.
Yep, holds the first place, 5.9 from the D score. With one apparatus to go.
Julia Steingruber next from Switzerland.
Having a good competition so far. Safely through bars, top scorer on vault. Let's see what she can do on the beam. Pike front somersault. Very difficult skill. Smallest of adjustments in that sideways somersault, but looks very confident. Comes the big combination. Backflip, straight back somersault, but she's off. What a shame. Going well. An unforgiving sport. Now has to settle down. Concentrate on the rest of the routine. That's better work. Very difficult leap, split leap with a half turn, losing sight of the beam. And an unusual forwards moving backward somersault with a full twist. Again a somersault.
Well, as we mentioned earlier on, at least a point deducted for coming off the beam, but again, recovered well. Some very good early moves in that, very solid on the beam for the landings. You see that, hardly a movement.
It's all around competition, it's all about four apparatus and a clean performance. Gymnasts finding very hard to make sure they can perform without error. That will be very costly. Julia, quite a specialist on the vault apparatus. She'll be working to perform that vault and a second one in apparatus finals, and hopefully challenge for a spot in the final at the Olympic Games next year on vault. Tremendous potential to do so.
A little shrug of the shoulders there as she awaits her score.
Such a complex sport, gymnastics, for these girls. Having to have all the ability and the talent to be able to move from the dynamics of vaulting to the swing and the courage of the bars, and then the grace, the choreography, the balance of the beam, and then the floor. All round work, very, very difficult at this level.
.366. Would have been obviously a lot higher had she not taken a tumble off the beam, but good performance all the same from Julia Steingruber.
Still in fifth place, and a strong floor performance. Can see her up in the top end of the field.
Australia's Emily Little is our penultimate gymnast on the beam. Just Marlies Rijken to come after this.
Scored 13.566 on this apparatus in the World Championships. Finished 23rd in Tokyo. Made the apparatus final, the all-around final, sorry, in the top 24. Qualified and finished in 23rd place. Quite a strong piece for a beam, 13.566. Let's see what she's going to do today.
It was in 5th place overall after the first 2 disciplines, the vault and the uneven bars.
It's the wait for the signal from the judges. They're ready 30 seconds in order to mount, just waiting for the green light. Girls very disciplined, they know the rules. Have to wait for the judges to be ready, have to wait for the green light to go on. When it is on, they have 30 seconds to get on the apparatus. There's the signal from the head judge. And Emily Little is ready to go. Safe mount onto the beam, sometimes a good idea. And as for a lot of the gymnasts electing for the front somersault early in the routine, get the difficulty out the way. Full spin low down. Solid. Flick layout. Very good performance. This needs a little bit more extension in those leaps, but the tumbling is fantastic. Round off double pike somersault, a few steps. She'll be happy with that. It was a safe performance. Slightly down on difficulty, but through without a fall. That's important.
I suppose if you'll pardon the pun, it is actually about getting the balance right, isn't it, between the difficulty and what you're comfortable with. And as you've already seen, a couple of athletes maybe just going out of their comfort zone slightly and taking a tumble off the bar. But as you say, a very safe performance from Emily Little.
That's always the trade-off, being able to perform the most difficult of routines and keep the execution going. At some point the difficulty gets too much and you end up parting company with the apparatus. And in this all-around competition, it's vital that you can complete the 4 pieces without error. Australian girls now well travelled, regularly backwards and forwards to Europe, many hours on aeroplanes. Finished the competition in Japan just a few weeks ago, back home to Australia, then on a plane again, back to Europe. Never easy, but that's their life.
It's just Marlies Reichen to come in the beam, but I think overall so far with almost the 3 disciplines we've seen complete, the standard has been very good indeed.
Well, consistent, that's the important thing. We've seen very few falls, a few mistakes on the beam, but bars and vault pass through very safely. Very high standard considering this time of the year and considering the gymnasts that we have. Working very well, it's wide open.
Of course, one more round of the World Cup Series to come, that taking place in Tokyo in a few weeks' time. Most of the athletes, of course, were in Tokyo just a couple of weeks ago for the World Championships, so they'll be familiar with their surroundings, no doubt, in the very exciting Japanese city.
Yes, that'll be the culmination of the series, and it'll be exciting to watch the GB men, Sam Hunter and Daniel Purvis, doing their stuff there. Dan Purvis with a great chance, Sam Hunter 10th in the World Championships in Rotterdam, also coming back and making his mark in preparation for selection for the Olympic Games next year. So important for these gymnasts to get international experience. The more competitions they do at this level, the more they start to understand the pressures, the stresses, the ability to perform these difficult elements, these difficult routines under these circumstances.
Once again, the judges just taking their time in collating the information that they need.
Judges drawn from not just Germany but from some of the participating nations as well. There's sometimes a language barrier. You need to be quite multilingual nowadays to be able to communicate and get your scores in and be able to be understood. See there, Philip Boy, fresh from his great performances in the World Championships, all around silver medal. There he is, just being introduced to the crowds. Quite a big hit amongst the young girls, I think.
Well, I shall win him tomorrow, of course, when he takes part in the men's competition.
Performed fantastically well in Tokyo a few weeks ago. An amazing high bar routine, finishing just behind Kohei Uchimura of Japan.
He's currently second in the World Championship rankings. 13.133 for Emily Little, puts her down in fourth spot. That's a solid score.
Yes, shaping up to be a great competition. Huang Quishang of China out in front, but it's anybody's game.
Marlies Reichen next onto the beam.
A very confident start from Marlies. Looking to lay out, not a wobble. This is good work. Wow, that's difficult. An Arabian somersault, half turn into a front somersault with not a flicker. First small mistake there. Settling down. Elegant lines, good form throughout. Side somersault. She's packing everything in. Just the dismount. There it is. Round off, double tuck back somersault. Very nice indeed.
Well, she needs a strong performance in this. She was in 7th place after the first two disciplines. Just brushes in Sheena below her in the 8th. So a good score here could see her elevate herself up the positions.
Yes, I think that'll help. It was a good performance. Obviously a strong piece for her, the beam. Worked very, very well, safe. Great element there, Arabian from standing. Top draw difficulty from Reichen. Cartwheel into double back somersault. Unusual to land one leg after the other, but she completed that with great style.
Some great height on some of those jumps there. Marlies Reichen. Will her score match her efforts, I wonder?
Let's see what the judges make of it. Never can quite tell. 6 judges, 4 for execution, 2 for difficulty. All have their opinions. Have to keep within a range of each other.
.533, our best scores so far. Quishang Huang from China.
Serena Stuttgart played host to the World Championships in 1987. I remember going there as a young man, watching some of the greats from Eastern Europe, Germany and Russia, seeing some great performances. Wonderful to see that gymnastics is still kept alive in the centre and in Germany. Good score, 13.833, moves her up to 3rd place.
A very good performance and the 3rd best score on the beam. Just one event to go. You can see the 12 by 12 mat awaiting the 8 gymnasts in just a moment or two's time. Certainly some very good performances on the beam. Just a couple of gymnasts coming off and having to regroup at their confirmation of the standing. Huang Quishang from China, top of the standings, 44.066. Kim Bui from Germany, 4 points down now. It will take an excellent performance for the Chinese to be caught at the top of that leaderboard. Marlies Reichen has improved her position slightly after the beam, up to 5th place. And that good solid performance of Emily Little sees her in 4th spot heading into the final discipline.
Well, outside of the first place position, it's very, very close, with only 4/10 separating the next 5 gymnasts between places 2 and 7. It really is anybody's game. Huang Quishang just has to be safe to secure the all-around title, but between 2nd and 7th, it's down to floor.
Well, Lauren Mitchell will set the standard, a former floor world champion, of course. She goes first.
Yes, they should see Lauren moving up the rankings. She's got a great floor routine. If she can hit it today, that'll see her possibly amongst the medals.
She's down in 7th spot after the opening 3 disciplines here.
Scored in Tokyo 15.033. That's going to really lift her score if she can get through. The girls have 3 or 4 minutes now to prepare their tumbles all together before the first gymnast goes. The floor routine performed to music, 1 minute and 30 seconds long. Gymnasts have to show a combination of acrobatic tumbles, gymnastics series elements, good style and grace, and show great choreography with the music that they've chosen. One of the tumbles has to connect 2 different somersaults. They have to show tumbling both forwards and backwards and use all parts of the floor.
Of course, we've already mentioned on numerous occasions the Olympic Games, and we were just talking before we actually went on air about the Olympic Games and the prospects really for British gymnasts in London 2012. I know the athletics have set a target of 7 medals for their athletes. Are there any sort of targets being set within gymnastics?
Well, it's quite new territory for us outside of Lewis Smith's Olympic bronze medal in Beijing. We'd hope to be able to improve on that. So Lewis has a lot of stress and expectation to be able to improve on his bronze medal. I think he has every possibility to do that. And then we have some great possibilities from the likes of Daniel Purvis, who's finished 4th in the World Championships all around just recently and took a bronze medal in the World Championships on floor in Rotterdam. There's plenty of chances, and I think we have every possibility to make 1 or 2 medals. Girls, of course, have Beth Tweddle. She's on a great quest to make an Olympic medal. She's won medals at all levels, European, world. Just the Olympic medal eludes her. She has everything in difficulty in her bars routine, and what a great fairy tale ending to her career it would be if she could go to the asymmetric bars in London next year and deliver the most complex of routines, take away that gold medal. We wish her well. She's working very hard towards that goal.
A reminder that tomorrow it will be the men's individual, starting at the same time, 11:30 GMT. With Alison Mitchell and Scott Hahn providing commentary for you tomorrow. Hopefully you'll be able to join them for some more excellent gymnastics. The men's disciplines, of course, differ slightly from the women's.
Yeah, 6 pieces of apparatus for the men tomorrow: floor, pommel horse, the rings, vault, parallel bars and horizontal bar. And these guys are the world's best all-rounders on those pieces of apparatus. We'll be looking at Daniel Purvis from Great Britain, Samuel Hunter for Great Britain. Promises to be a very exciting event. Daniel Purvis certainly has a chance for some major results, and he'll be hunting for an Olympic medal next year, I'm sure.
Well, of course, we saw Philip Boy earlier on, the home favourite, and he could well challenge. He's currently 2nd in the world rankings. He could well overtake, or certainly challenge, Mykola Kuksenkov from Ukraine at the top of the rankings tomorrow. He's 10 points clear currently of Philip Boy. He's due to compete here.
Yeah, Philip Boy will be the home favourite, and that can work in one of 2 ways. It can either lift the performer to do great things, or it can serve as a little bit of a stress and a pressure. But I think Philip's well used to this occasion, and he'll be going for it.
And preparation's just about complete. We saw some excellent moves from Lauren Mitchell in that warm-up routine. Can she transfer that into the bit that matters, where points are at stake? Certainly she has the pedigree, of course, to finish top of this discipline, having been a former world champion.
Floor, as you mentioned, Mark, 12 metres by 12 metres and built of very springy elastic material, carpeted on the top with foam or springs underneath. to give a great deal of dynamic bounce to the gymnast. The gymnasts have to tumble with forwards and backwards, performing double somersaults and with multiple twists. Very exciting to watch.
Kim Bui there, one of the Germans. Nadine Yarosh, her fellow countrywoman as well. Healthy crowd here today. It's a nice-sized arena.
It's a little bit unusual. It should be Lauren Mitchell going next, but we have Nadine Yarosh, and what's happened to Lauren?
Certainly she was warming up a moment or so ago, so slight change in the order, but Yarosh going first.
Backflip double somersault with full twist. Safely through. Very dramatic music. Spring double twist. Immediate leap. Good connection there. Judges looking for good composition, the ability to interpret the music, show good virtuosity and performance throughout. 1.5 twist backwards through to full twist forwards, the compulsory linking of 2 somersaults in a single pass. And a good balance, I think, between great tumbling, good style. Wow. Final tumble. Triple twist, small step, but top draw difficulty, great work. Well done, Nadine.
Well, the home crowd enjoyed that. Nadine Yarosh, the first of our 2 German competitors.
Not sure what's happened to former world champion Lauren Mitchell. Not sure if she's injured or later on, but should have been first according to our programme.
Hopefully we'll find out in a moment or two's time what's happened with Lauren Mitchell.
Triple twist as a dismount.
Lovely performance from Nadine Yarosh.
Always very difficult floor when you're working at 1 minute 30. You're getting quite out of breath. It's the equivalent, I think, in gymnastics of the 400 meters in athletics. You're running into a different oxygen system. Your legs are dying a little bit, but you have to try and stay in there and perform your most difficult tumble at the end.
Well, she's still just a first-year senior, of course, Nadine Yarosh, and I say it's very confident. Apart from that fall off the beam, she's done really, really well.
I'm quite impressed with this girl. She's young. She's got great style. Good level of difficulty, and with experience I think she could be a very good international performer at the highest level.
The 8 judges with the difficult job of scoring the floor.
My German served me well. It's 13.800. Let's see.
The German does serve you well. Good start for Nadine Yarosh. Well, there is a change in the order because Kim Bui should be next, but it's Julia Steingruber from Switzerland.
Great height on those leaps. Good potential for some great tumbles here. straight somersault. Fantastic work. One and a half twist backwards, full twist forwards. Great tumbling work. Powerful, powerful gymnast. Showing good flow, good interpretation of the music. Using all parts of the floor, high levels, low levels, combinations of jumps, leaps and spins, interspersed with some fantastic tumbling. Wow, double tuck somersault, beautiful landing. Settling down for the dismount. Double pike. That's a good performance from Julia Steinberger.
Some really nice components to the floor for Julia Steingruber. Another one who's performed consistently well.
He's had a great competition today. Started well on vault with the most difficult vault, the highest score. Worked well on bars, a little hiccup on the beam, falling off, but finishing with a fantastic floor routine. Look at that for a landing.
She's one of the taller gymnasts in the competition. It's a good height on those leaps as well.
It's not always easy to work when you're very tall, but what it does do is show great height and amplitude if you can master that. Julia's still young, still developing, still growing, still with potential to put more difficulty into her routines, to settle down the execution. She has a few good years in front of her, I think.
40.299 points she managed to pick up from the opening three. The event's down in sixth spot, 13.833. Puts her in the lead ahead of Nadine Yarosh with that excellent floor performance.
Yeah, she'll be happy with that. Where would she have been with a clean beam routine?
So now it is Lauren Mitchell. Gymnast order. Not correct, but here is Lauren Mitchell.
Good history on this piece of apparatus. Former world champion. Made the final in Tokyo just a few weeks ago. Let's see how she does here. Determined approach. Oh, that was a deep landing. A whip back into a double Arabian somersault. Very, very complex. Took a risk, but it may have been costly. Pulling back out to follow, working at the highest level of difficulty. There's that spin we saw on the beam, not as well executed on the floor, but difficult nonetheless. Two and a half twist backwards, straight front forwards. Very difficult elements. Now, what is she going to leave us with on the dismount? A safe double pike somersault. Stayed within the floor. And she's through. It was a difficult routine, and the first tumble may have been costly.
She scored 14.733 a couple of weeks ago in Tokyo at the World Championships.
Here it is, whip back somersault, half turn, double front, but a deep landing and a major stumble. Twisting double back in the pike position. And this very well executed 2.5 twist, straight forward somersault. A little flourish at the end. Nice touch.
Well, again, it comes down to seeing the difficult elements of that, doesn't it? And that one slight slip will have cost her, and we'll see other gymnasts, I'm sure, playing it a little bit safer and maybe in the end picking up more points.
Well, that's the trade-off, that's the risk you take. I'm sure she's done that routine many times and with excellent performance. It's just being able to hit it and do your best performance in the right moment. Not easy to do. Difficult as well for the girls to keep all of their tumbles and all of their elements within the boundaries of the 12-metre square. Obviously deductions if the gymnasts step out or fall out, that can be added to your execution errors.
So Lauren Mitchell, the third of our 8 girls to go in the final discipline. 13.933 puts her in the lead though.
Yeah, again benefiting from that tremendous D score, 6.0. Would have been right up near to 15. She'd have just been a bit cleaner on that first tumble, I think.
Marlies Reichen will take us to the halfway point in the floor. Did that excellent performance on the beam, of course, Marlies Reichen, to lift her up to 5th place overall.
Beautiful triple pirouette there. Double Arabian, nailed to the floor. Very good start. I think she's enjoying herself. 1.5 twist, step out, through to a double twist backwards and a backflip for good measure. This is good work. Nice to see gymnasts enjoying the music, enjoying the choreography. Great touches, great poise throughout this routine. Yes, they'll work our way into the corner and prepare for a final tumble to end this competition. There it is, double somersault, safely round. Great routine.
Well, she's got stronger as the competition has gone on, Marlies Reichen. Excellent on the beam, as we mentioned a moment or so ago, and very competent on the floor as well. And Lauren Mitchell's score of 13.933 could be seriously threatened by that performance.
It's very nice execution, very nice interpretation of the music. Not perhaps the greatest difficulty compared with Lauren's routine, but we'll see what the judges make of that. She can relax now. Competition's done. Very nice to sit back and watch the rest of the performers finish their routines.
And the 8 judges for the floor. And indeed, she does take the lead. 13.366 for Marlies Reichen. But as you see, the D rating, as you mentioned, 5.1.
Yeah, compared to 6.0 from Lauren Mitchell. That's always the trade-off. Whether you should work at the high level and sacrifice execution. The job is always to be to score as high as you possibly can with your execution deductions.
Emily Little, the second of our Australian gymnasts, next to go.
Good start, full in back out opening, tumble. A powerful gymnast, powerful tumbler. Second double somersault there. Just to show some of the choreographic gymnastic elements that form the compulsory aspects of this routine. Taking a breath for the middle tumble. 1.5 twist backwards through to double twist. 3.5 twists in one tumble. Pass. Final tumble of the competition. Keep it together. Double pike somersault, a few small steps, but it's safe.
Nice performance there from Emily Little, Martine George and Stacey Uman, her choreographers, and showing a lot of the choreography to the music within that routine. Amazing to think she's been part of the national team since the age of 12. Emily Little, still just 17 years of age.
Yes, many of these gymnasts have had most of their lives in gym halls, starting at 4 or 5 years old, and only now working on an international stage. 30 hours a week, 6 days a week, relentless training in order to master this most complex of sports. And good level of tumbling. Look at that double pike somersault dismount there.
That's an interesting point you make, because it's very difficult for young people like Emily Little and some of the younger athletes, because they don't necessarily have the same kind of childhood or upbringing as other people. They have that real dedication to get out of bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and train before school and after school, and very, very disciplined at that kind of age, but driven by the success that they hope they will get from a professional career in sport.
Yes, they're very tough characters, these gymnasts. They work for long hours every day. They're very keen on perfecting their skills. They love challenges. And they work relentlessly in order to do the most difficult routines. Very tough sport.
12.866 puts her down in 4th place, Emily Little. Looks a little disappointed with that. Next up, it's the Russian, Yulia Inshina.
Worked on floor just yesterday in the team event. Had a start score of 5.2. Let's see if she's going to perform the same routine today. Opens with a very difficult 1.5 twisting backward somersault through to a double tug back. And that's a confident start for Inshina. 2.5 twist backwards. Beautiful line. The Russians with a great tradition of choreography and interpretation of dance. Difficult spin there with the leg held high above the head. Very perky little gymnast, using the music to great effect. Double twist backwards. nice expression in the gymnastics choreographic elements there. Change of tempo, and building up for the final pass. Here it is. What a landing. Double pike somersault, nailed to the floor. Great finish.
Well, she's the smallest of our 8 competitors, but that was a huge performance on the floor. Very, very good indeed. Very confident. Another of the 16-year-olds in this competition.
Super opening tumble, 1.5 twist through to double somersault. 16 years of age. What a great future this young lady has. Great style in that double pike somersault. Legs perfectly straight and the most beautiful of landings. That was a good performance.
.733 puts her in 3rd place.
A good E-score, only 8.5, 1.5 deductions. Very clean performance from Yulia. Can she hold on to that 3rd?
Just 2 to go then. It's the German Kim Bui who's up next.
Yes. Competition organisers working very well, saving the home favourite for the penultimate performance and then leaving the Chinese Huang Quishang to see if she can win the gold medal. Powerful tumbler, Kimberly. Ball twisting double back with a super landing. That's a great start. Very nice, 2.5 twists backwards, punch front with half turn forwards, fulfilling the combination requirement. Going well so far. She's looking for a silver medal, I think. Great work. 3 of the tumbles done. The crowd are getting behind her. Has she got enough in the tank to finish this off? Moving to the corner. The all-important final pass. Double pike somersault, another super landing. That's great work from local favourite Kim Bui.
Well, scored 13.533 in Tokyo on the floor. That would put her only to 4th place here, but I think she'll score much higher than that. It was a very, very good performance, and you could hear the encouragement coming from the home crowd as well.
Very popular performance, very popular performer. Great landings, great work, good style throughout. Deserves a good score for that routine. Complex combinations of twisting and somersault. And then still with some room for a solid double pike dismount. Has she done enough?
Well done indeed for a solid performance. Don't forget the Chinese Quishang Huang had a 4-point lead coming into the final discipline. It's highly unlikely she'll be caught at the top unless she has a complete disaster on the map.
Kim Bui could be happy with her performance today. Very solid all round. Not always easy to perform in front of your home crowd. She coped with the pressure very, very well. Nice to see all 8 girls lined up at the end of the competition. She's very happy with the result. 13.9 straight into first place.
A very good performance of Kibui. A very good competition for her. Looks odds on now to take the silver medal.
Yeah, she can now relax and sit back knowing that she's definitely got a medal, although which colour will depend on this young lady, Huang Kui-shang. Triple twist opener. Lovely, elegant style throughout that tumble. Chinese choreography improving all the time. Double pike and a big step out the floor. That'll be costly. Very difficult pirouette. Well executed. Nice combination there of backwards and forward somersaults with twists. It's going well. Just needs a safe landing. She's looking at a gold medal, I think. Down to this last tumble. Gathers. 2.5 twist, safely round. And a great ending.
Well, she came into this competition joint 8 in the current world rankings. She's certainly going to elevate her position with her performance here today. Huang Kui-shang, the Chinese, very, very competent in all 4 disciplines.
I think so. She went into this floor exercise over 4 marks in front of her nearest rival. There was the only major error in that performance, stepping out of the floor. She'll lose a few tenths for that, but I don't think there's any way enough for her not to secure the all-around title. Fantastic performance from Huang Kui-shang.
So just a question of finding out the score for the Chinese, and in the overall rankings, the team competition coming up this afternoon after a short break. Then it's the men's individual tomorrow morning. Once again, you can follow all the action here from 11:30 GMT in the morning. And Philip Boy, the German, improve his standing at the top of the rankings, or can the 2 Brits take medals tomorrow as well? 11:30 the start time for the men's individual.
Super competition today, largely error-free, great level of performance. All the gymnasts work very, very well and are in fine form. Important thing now is to hold everything together, stay injury-free, ready for the biggest year of their lives next year.
Huang Kui-shang, final competitor. So nice to see such a good crowd, and they've been so appreciative, rightly so, with a difficulty of 5.5, 13.966 of Huang Kui-shang, and she will take the gold medal.
Yeah, it's a fine result for the Chinese gymnast. Worked very, very well across 4 pieces of apparatus, showed great discipline throughout, great confidence, a worthy winner.
So gold for the Chinese. Kibui also gets a medal.
It's a popular result, silver medal for the local girl, Kibui. There it is, it was wide open. The bronze medal goes to Yulia Inchinai. Could have been any one of 5 gymnasts and little 16-year-old Julian China managed to hold it together to snatch the bronze medal.
Well, it's been a really good competition right from the very start. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage here from the Porsche Arena. Don't forget, as we said, it's the men's event tomorrow morning at 11:30 GMT. And thanks to Paul Hall for the excellent analysis throughout the course of the last couple of hours or so. I'm Mark Tompkins. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage. But from us all at the Stuttgart 2011 World Cup event, it's bye for now.